All right. Well, today was another riveting day in the journey of us. We still don't really have a name quite picked out. But anyway, um, I spoke with Rhea for a little while about possibly learning magic, though she seemed very distracted. So I kind of talked to myself for a bit and get myself a new haircut and such. The others, they had their own time spent. Damien poked me with a stick in the feet, which was new. I hope he doesn't do it again because it was very odd. He's gonna wake me up. Just wake me up. Don't be so weird about it. Anyway, we traveled on the road for a bit. We spoke a little while longer, and this strange man appeared. It was in a quite nice carriage, though it did not have the dual wagon wheels like I had hoped. I do think that's probably something to look into. If one breaks, you still have three others. But he seemed very interested in trading stories. I'm not sure how trustworthy he is yet, but I suppose we'll find out in due time. As it goes, we are still on the pursuit to Jester's Landing. Hopefully we get there soon. For various reasons, of course. Dots the period, closes his journal.
Alright. You can take your inspiration.
Wunderbar.
Okay. So, as you all, as he's this fellow whose name is Regis von Escalaban, as he's kind of pulled up alongside. Well, so I'm sure you have plenty of stories to tell. I have plenty of information to share myself if you had any queries or anything. I'm quite of a storyteller myself.
Yes, I got a question.
Yes.
Have you ever seen a smithing contest?
A smithing contest.
Yes.
Of what type of proportions?
Well, you see the blacksmiths in a town, they gather round and they smith an item, be it a sword, crown, helmet, armor, shield, whatever. And it is brought among judges to be judged based off the craftsmanship and how well it operates. Just curious if you ever seen anything like that.
Well, I know there is there is the annual competitions that some of the demigods hold every year. One for great pyromancies, one for known as the Savage Hunt, and the other a competition of gladiators to find the most powerful under Asgir.
Einar looks visibly confused.
Does Einar know anything about Asgir? I feel like he would because it's the Scowling God.
He
Demigod.
would, but he doesn't see the correlation there, I would think.
Oh, he doesn't. Oh, okay. So he probably knows about Asgir as a demigod, but he doesn't know he holds competitions. So. Perhaps. I mean, you can roll a religion check to see how much you know. I don't know if Einar is very religious or not.
Oh, roll a religion check. He's not. I would say he's smart, but he doesn't have proficiency, so
Yeah.
probably not overly religious.
Okay. From that, Einar would probably know that Asgir does hold a tournament. Basically, the tournament arc of where the fighters fight each other in hopes of trying to receive a boon as a champion.
This kind of recognition comes on his face, and then a little shit-eating grin. So, friend, are you telling me I should hold one of these contests at one of those contests?
No, that is not exactly what I'm saying. But Drindair is a god who appreciates competition. I'm sure perhaps that, there is no demigod of forgery.
Mm.
Perhaps that is something that eventually you could lead into becoming a demigod of forgery yourself. If that's something you pursue. So,
Yeah, it seems like a long shot.
yeah, it is. But, I mean, all the demigods were once human.
Yeah, I suppose.
Not particularly human, some are
Mortal. That's the
mortal.
word you're looking
Yes,
for.
indeed.
Mortal. Well, certainly something I didn't expect, but good knowledge to have.
I'm sure perhaps there is places that hold smithing competitions. Just not sure if there's any in Casterfair.
Let me ask you this.
Hmm.
One of my esteemed colleagues among us here, he says you need what is it? He kind of snaps his fingers trying to think of the words. A guild membership, a guild pass in these larger cities to, do something like smithing. Is that true?
I'm pretty sure you can take up if you're looking to smith in larger cities. You can just ask the permission of whoever owns the blacksmith there. But I believe that if you're looking to set up shop, looking to make a business out of it, then you would need membership.
I see. Is that for, what is it, tax reasons?
Indeed.
Well, suppose then there's no real danger in holding the competition in the city.
But fair enough. Looks towards anyone else. Anyone else would like to wish them anything? Folklore? Gods? Battles? Locations?
So this happened like towards the end of last session where I was starting to like doze off. What
Yes.
does he do?
He is a storyteller of sorts. He's basically introduced himself as someone who knows quite a lot about the world around, and he's looking to share stories. And if you have anything that you're seeking, any information, ask him and see if he knows anything.
Sweet, I hit my protein.
Yeah. So like just stories or any kind of information?
Any kind of information. He's kind of pretty much spoken of stories, but as he's kind of speak, basically gods, anything. He's traveled the world, considerable amount, learned a lot of things, and is just looking for more information.
So Candy will pipe up then.
Do you have any more recent news on things?
More recent news on things, such as what? Like,
well,
if it's
I don't know if you're familiar with them or not, but the Bogdat.
the what?
Does it seem like he didn't hear her?
He didn't
or
hear
doesn't recognize? Okay.
The Bogdat.
Out of character, the Bogdat?
Yes, I will say message.
No, that's not really something I've heard of.
Okay,
before.
that's alright. I was just curious.
Alright.
That's a weird thing you kind of brought up there, Candy. The bog that?
Yeah, it's just, information on a person group sort of thing. I was just curious on recent events.
Fair enough. I don't suppose there's anything I particularly would need to know. Maybe you can give me a suggestion, though. What's like the most picturesque place you've seen lately? I'm trying to find some new inspiration.
Place that you're looking for inspiration for?
Oh, kind of sort of painting, picturesque, inspiring sort of thing.
Are you looking for kind of world wonders, or perhaps magnificent cities, or perhaps beautiful sceneries? What kind of art are you looking to paint here?
That there's a good question, sir. I suppose if I were going to pick something, I'd like to find a place that kind of represents the soul of the land.
Well, if you're looking for a place that represents the soul of the land, I suppose the Cataclysm Gate in the center of Castrifel could represent that. I guess all of them could, essentially. When it comes to planar portals, traveling through them, they say that the soul is more of the traveler than the body. That is especially true when one passes into the afterlife, where the soul must travel to the astral sea, to the other planes, to essentially the rightful afterlife. So I guess the various cataclysm gates across both Falkest, Marvelon, and Casterfell could be interesting for you.
Well, I appreciate the suggestion there.
It's alright. There's also various other wonders. There is a wanderer, an omen of sorts. It is known as the Well of Avaricious Life. It is something that was basically coveted by... Well, I'm not sure if you heard of Greed on Night's Eve.
Have I? Has Marcus?
I will tell you now, yes. Nathan.
Oh, yes, that's right. Yeah, I've heard of it.
Well, they say that the guild master, the very original one, or at least the first group, essentially, they found an artifact of greed, the sin of greed, known as the Well of Avaricious Life. It granted those who drank out of it immortal life.
Seems sketchy.
A little. But, well, the guild masters of each of the three different sects of the faction, well, they've lived for quite a long time.
Well, I suppose there might be something to it. At least extends life, or by the sounds of it.
What do you know about these omens?
The omens? Well,
Yes. I keep hearing about them. They come from a small island village.
the omens are essentially powers in folklore. A lot of the demigods themselves were once omens, inheriting this power to ascend to godhood. When it comes to the omens, it is a power bestowed upon those who have potential to do great things, or quite terrible things, in fact. There was a time, in fact, where all 7 sins of the omens were once hosted by those in the Chimerian army. Those were known as the Chimerian sins of war, also known as the worst 7. One of them created what Chimerians used to very powerful mages that they want to controlling your mind. What's known as mind flaying. It's a terrible, terrible thing.
Here's a question for you then.
Mm.
Just passing curiosity, really, but where do you fall on this whole war thing?
I'm a neutral party member.
Neutral?
I have ties to both sides, and Chimerians value my information and what I can give, and so do the Urbani.
I see.
Well, I suppose, unless anybody else got any questions, we have best get on our way.
I mean, he's like traveling alongside.
Oh, that's right. I forgot he was traveling with
Yeah.
us.
So,
Well,
you mentioned the worst 7. Oh, Evelyn, go ahead.
I suppose I was wondering. You say that they're sort of the whole importance of aspect. I suppose what makes me curious is there any other way than simply a manifestation?
In terms of what?
Noticing.
They're usually granted great power. Sometimes that form is visual. Sometimes, well, it isn't.
Oh, okay. I suppose I was just curious. If there's anything that, well, I don't know. It's this difficulty of, like, knowing she probably wouldn't say it, but she's definitely just, like, other things outside of just physically. Like, personality-wise, for example.
Is that what she kind of like tries to interpret to him?
Yeah.
Oh well, of course. When one is affected by an omen, it's either changes their original personality to more fit that omen, and they have to fight against it or fall to this personality change, or it's simply something they already had, and it just enforced it some more. It's a drastic change. You're inheriting a sin or a virtue of great power, one that can very much overwhelm you, change your entire being, not just from the powers it grants.
Interesting. Well, I suppose that was all that really caught my interest.
Very well.
I have a question for you again about these omens. So I understand they're people of great power. Actually, there's probably two questions.
Hmm.
How are they normally perceived by the normal people?
A lot of more people have perhaps tried to pretend, or it's very unbelievable, right? There is only 14 that can be available at any one given point of time. So
Yes.
it's very hard to believe that that someone would inherit such power out of how many people there are on this continent.
Yeah, so
Some
sort
people
of a
try.
rare thing.
Indeed. So when one says that they have the power, often they really need to prove this. This power that they wield can often be very visual, but others might mistake that for regular magic. So it all really depends on most people. At the end of the day, a lot of people just believe it's folklore, and they don't believe that the person that they're talking to are holders of such power, or even demigods. Because even the demigods themselves travel across the lands from time to time.
Yeah, kind of hard to, manifest such powers and make it look like it's not just everyday magic.
Indeed.
Fair enough, fair enough. So the other question, probably a more interesting one. Maybe you don't have an answer for that.
Hmm.
What are the origins of these omens? Where do they come from? What made them?
Well, the origins of the omens come from very, very old gods. Gods long before the six that we know. It was a time from before the barrier, or at least from what people heard. Time from when perhaps the world was more open to everyone. But, well, these old gods, they held such power, and they were defeated by the current gods, who have now claimed their domain over this realm. It is said that these powers come from two gods. Forgotten ones, but ones that represent the good, and another that represents the evil. Split among them were these powers that bestowed into the others, and eventually spread across as powerful manifestations.
I see. So I suppose no one really knows why, then.
It is a very old story, and many texts are long forgotten. Most likely the information has been hidden by Revan.
Revan, huh?
The hidden archivist.
Well, suppose that's all well and good. Have you ever met one of these omens? Presume probably not.
Not really.
I mean, I know. What's the odds? I mean, running into an omen. 14 to like 4 billion?
Yes, that's true. But of course, when you're well traveled, you never know.
I suppose you can meet
Very
one
true.
without ever knowing it.
I suppose that is true.
Kenny just glances between the three of them.
I mean, heck, imagine if you just didn't meet one, but you met 6 at once. Now that would be amazing. Like the
That
odds
would
of
be
that.
pretty crazy.
Yeah, that'd be astronomical odds.
That person would be really, really lucky.
Yeah, I would get a lottery ticket if I was him immediately.
Exactly.
You know,
How,
I think I met an omen back in the town of Offset, or no, I didn't meet him, but I heard about him. He sold these really odd things called oyster balls.
I swear to God.
Hey,
interesting. If you want to roll me a deception check.
Everyone just looked back at the two of them. This is not a challenge any of you had to take.
Really?
Challenge we chose.
What? Why would someone like that be selling oyster balls?
Well, everybody needs to make money, I assume.
And you, what omen dare say you suppose he had?
Well, I didn't meet him. I only heard about him. Marcus, didn't you meet him, or was it Candy?
I met him. I think. Let's see. Out of all of them, I'd have to say the one that fits him most would be Lust.
Yeah, I mean, oyster balls do get people randy, I hear.
Interesting. From Offset.
Yes.
Just has such a confused look right now.
Yeah, he has. Interesting.
Trust me, I was quite shocked to hear it. I was in the middle of one of my Forged in Fire championships. Actually, the first one.
Right.
Ever.
Yeah. Well, the first one out of my town, but still, first one.
Very well. Guess I'll have to pay Offset a visit sometime.
Don't eat them though.
Do not
Unless you
eat the
really
oyster
want
balls.
that lust to kick in.
Ah, yes, perhaps that's his manifestation, or his balls.
You did this to yourself, Storm.
You really did.
I didn't do this.
You gave us the
Actually,
tools.
regretting one of the
I gave
memes.
you the fuel. I didn't
Actually-
expect this outcome.
Actually regretting his meme. Love to see it.
I don't regret the meme.
I poured the gasoline on it, but I didn't realize they all had matches just waiting to go.
Can't trust anyone, not even yourself.
Do you have any more proof?
Well, I didn't meet the man.
I mean, Well, I
What
didn't
proof is
see-
there to have? You said it was very unlikely to believe somebody like that. I guess I don't really know how these things manifest in people.
I mean, he did have a way about him, though. Maybe that was the proof of it.
I feel like you're all just making perceived assumptions.
Well, like you said, what are the odds of us actually running into one? Like you said, 14 in billions, right? The odds are slim.
Does Marcus have his... Where are his hands? Are they...
He's got his gloves on.
Okay. Well, that is very true. Which is why I'm very hesitant to believe that you've met such a man in this town. Who
I
is
would
selling...
not lie to you. A man was there selling oyster balls.
Oh, no, I certainly believe that. I suppose.
You're playing with fire.
But, well, I mean, if there's anything else you wish to ask.
Well, I mean, I can't think of anything particular at this. Well, actually, something does come to mind. Have you heard any kind of rumors about some critters, strange creatures, or anything around this area?
What strange creatures?
Well, I mean, we did recently run into some snarling-like, dog-like people.
Wolf people? Werewolves?
Well, maybe they could have been.
You just see William just kind of turn a little.
No, you're talking about the things that were shorter than we were, right?
The hairy ones with the mace.
Oh, yes. They looked more like hyenas than wolves.
Ah, Knolls. Yeah, what about them?
Well, I mean, is it common for them to be around these parts, or?
I mean, Knolls can live a variety of different places. I don't think it would be uncommon for them to be around here.
I'm just curious. Just wondering if they were like, you heard of any sort of like gathering of them in this general spot or such.
Not that I know of.
I have a question.
Yes.
Alright, very serious one.
She like claps her hands together flat, like presses the tips of her fingers against her mouth, squinting, then pushes them forward so like they're horizontal at him.
What is your favorite flavor of cupcake?
Rhea face palms.
Red velvet.
What a coincidence.
Puts up a hand.
But also same.
Tosses red cupcake.
She'll hold it out to him.
Are these? Is that the bag of holding?
Yep.
You don't think these not stale?
Taking a small piece off and eating it, is it stale?
How many days has it been?
Question: is the bag of holding technically a vacuum seal due to the air law?
Yeah, essentially it's a vacuum seal.
So it would probably be still fairly fresh in a vacuum seal
Yeah.
container.
Yeah, it would be.
I think it's only been like a week at most.
Alright, she'll
Yeah.
hold it out to him.
Nope, they're still pretty fresh. Here you go.
Takes a bite out of it. This is pretty good. Thank you.
So I have another
No problem.
question.
Thank you.
Yes.
We met some other travelers on the road, and we spoke with them for a little while, and they said they were looking for some weapon of a demigod.
Which demigod?
No, I don't think we ever asked.
Then I would not have any idea how the
I
demigods
guess-
all have weapons.
I guess my question is, do they make these weapons themselves, or...
The demigods?
Yes.
Some of them do. Some of them bestow their power upon great weapons or items and turn them into artifacts.
Why would they not take these with them?
For the demigods?
Yes.
They like to travel light.
I don't believe they need them. It's more wrong to give their power to mortals, correct? It's like giving their power to those who pray towards them.
Ah, so like a champion's weapon sort of thing.
Essentially, yes.
Well, Candy. Enjoy your axe. I bestowed my favor upon you with it.
Oh, even before that, I hope I had your favor.
Don't read too much into it, Regis.
I will not.
I did make a pretty nice axe, though.
Want to see it? She'll immediately take it out.
Just imagine just like
very
holding
fine
up
work.
blade first to his face. Look at this!
I just imagine it like swinging past his head.
Giant
kinda
axe. Bigger
He
than
gently
her.
like lifts his hand up and just kind of pushes out of his face just a little bit. Admire the craftsmanship.
Want to see my
Favorite part, and she'll show the skull that was carved into the, what was it again?
The pommel?
Sapphire?
Sapphire, yeah.
Oh.
Interesting.
That was the first carving of a gem I've ever done. Can't say I did too bad with it either.
Yeah, it's not too bad. Not too bad.
super duper good?
Yeah, I mean, we did a good job getting that together. I did the outline, and Grindar had the skills to kind of just get his craftsmanship in there.
Precisely.
And the fact that they work together makes it even more amazing.
Exactly. Teamwork is the best thing. Teamwork
Hey,
makes
you
the
know.
dream works.
About to say something like that. Some of the old forged chieftains back in the town said that.
As you're kind of riding along, you see Regis kind of turn his head towards straight along the road, returning back towards you guys. It seems we have some company.
Oh,
As you see, as you kind of pull up and look ahead, you see just kind of a gathering of individuals, what seems to be hooded figures and clad in leather armor, kind of just guarding
they're
the
hooded.
road,
That's never
And they're
a good
just kind of-
sign.
standing in the middle of the road.
do we recognize any of the... So they're just hooded figures. They're not, like, wearing any sort of, like, telling...
Some of them, no, they're not wearing anything any depictions on them that might represent that they're from something in particular. Some are hooded, some have their faces kind of like revealed. You see this kind of more scowling, older-looking gentleman with this white beard and this great sword, just kind of like sitting over his shoulder as he looks towards everyone, towards the group. Behind him, there's this person, this man, hooded in this kind of, in this what seems to be breastplate armor.
Marcus turns to Einar and goes, is it just me, or are you getting a bad feeling from this?
It's very suspect. Do I recognize the older man as Skjallan?
Yes.
However, I think maybe I can talk our way through it if need be.
See the man in the back, just kind of call out, "Halt! If you want to pass by without any trouble, I suggest you pay the toll."
What is with these roads and tolls?
I suppose they gotta keep the roads up the tab somehow, but these don't really look like government employees to me.
This is the
So-
second one we've run across.
So these random men just suddenly showed up. Or not showed up, but we came across them, and they are trying to toll us.
Essentially, they're saying toll.
They're bandits, man. They're bandits.
They're bandits.
Interesting.
Bandit tax.
Well,
I'm gonna
in
call
this
out
particular,
to the Skjallan
in this
man.
particular instance. Oh,
Go ahead, Evelyn.
dance back and forth. Okay. Yeah, no. Evelyn just kind of speaks up, and it's just like, "Oh, I'm sorry. Is this a an owned area?"
You see the Scallon man just kind of look towards you all. If it wasn't clear, we need your belongings.
Belongings. Oh no.
Call out
I
to the
don't-
Skjallan man and Skjallan. So nobody else will understand this.
Huh?
Hail, kinsman.
Hail.
What brings you about here? Why are you down here asking for belongings? Don't you have any pride in where you're from?
I've traveled a long way. Not really back home from whatever clan you think I've been.
What brings you all the way out here, then?
Well, if a battle occurs, glory in battle.
Ah, glory. I want to look at the sword. Does it look like a make from his town?
Yes.
I was gonna grin. You know that sword you're wielding? It came from my hometown. I can tell by the craftsmanship.
Oh, like from your town or from Skjall and...
From my town.
Oh, from your town specifically?
Mm-hmm.
Roll me a perception check.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, you can roll insight. It looks like a Skjall weapon. You don't know if it's from your town or not.
Okay, scratch what I just said. So, you want solely a toll, yes? I presume...
Indeed.
Money?
Money, your belongings.
I'm not sure if it would be very keen to stop right now, especially with what's going on. Have you heard what's happening down later? Down the words. Have you heard what's happening down the road?
You see the man, kind of lean back a little, folding his arms. What down the road?
Now, if you may remind me, with where we had previously come from, and I could be mixing this up with what Nano had said previously, but were we in any foresty area?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, okay. Then kind of keeping it up in my head. Got it then. Yeah, no. Evelyn just kind of goes ahead and points on back, and it's just... There seems to be something stirring. I personally have not seen anything like it.
What exactly is stirring?
How... correct me if I'm wrong, but exactly how far... Would we still be considered to be in troll territory? Or
Yeah,
outside?
troll. Yeah, no, trolls can appear.
Yeah, no. Then, if that's the particular case, then she would continue to just go ahead and say it's just trolls, many of them.
Roll me a deception check.
Right before. If you were wise, you would take the lot of your men and you would get out of here as soon as possible as well. And given the fact that it has been a minute... Towards the person who seemed to be a leader that I could discern.
Okay, so he's make a wisdom save.
Yes. Dances in place.
Where exactly?
Was that a tremble? She goes ahead and looks past you. It was on the other side of the edge of the forest, but they're coming.
Alright. Look, we're going, and you kind of see a woman just kind of look over towards. Hold on. She just kind of leaps down. What is it? Vice. I just want to check something. If you all don't mind. And she looks over towards the rest of you.
Who's the man in specific that he was talking to? Okay, over there.
Yeah, this woman has leapt off the boulder that she was sitting on, looking towards the captain.
All right,
Boston.
then. If that's the case, Evelyn will just quietly tell the others. She might be checking what I just did. Ready yourselves.
Got it.
It's not unlike you to be this worried so quickly. You mind if I check? As long as it doesn't take too long, we need to get out of here. It won't take too long. And she is going to cast Dispel Magic.
Plus side, burnt a 3rd level spell slot. Negative side, the cover's blown.
Negative side, they have a 3rd level spell slot.
As she kind of casts it, and you see him go shake out of it for a moment. Funny trick. We're not going to ask you again. Your belongings. And you can leave. Don't want to hurt you.
If I might pint a pup, why exactly do you need all this stuff?
Well, I won't suppose to say that it's an honest way to make a living, but it's a way to make a living.
What? Are there no places that are hiring you?
Not looking for work, per se.
Why is that?
It's not exactly what we're looking for. It's easier this way. Orb carriages, merchant carriages.
Is there like a specific item or something you're looking for? If so, we might be able to help.
We're not looking for anything specific. Just your belongings.
Looking them over, what kind of look do they each have? Like, are they big, strong, tough people, or?
Some of them appear to be. Some of them appear to be more quick on their hands. Some of them have crossbows. This guy looks a bit like a big brute. This guy looks like he's very deft in battle. She seems like she's a healer of sorts. Also
Magically inclined.
capable and capable in combat.
Got
got
it.
Tell Rael.
Kind of nods her head and kind of looks on the road. The road that we're on, is it like a main road or an off?
It's a main road.
It's a main road. Okay. Kind of tilts her head.
And out of curiosity, how many of these carriages tend to come on by where you're able to kind of get everything you need from them?
We gauge if people scout out.
But I mean, you must not be getting much from it, right?
Make do.
But that's what I'm saying. I don't really get it. I mean, look at some of you. Like, you're big and strong. She, like, flexes her arms, just, like, got all these muscles. And some of you are, like, really, really talented, like her. And she gestures to the one that got rid of the spell. You guys have such good skills. Why not use it for ways to actually, like, I don't know, make, like, steady income coming in? And not, like, find yourself with days where, yeah, sure, I'm sure, carts with some good stuff comes on by, but I'm sure it's not a daily thing, right? Some days you must find yourself with not much at all. So why not find, like, mercenary work or something like that where you're constantly making something steady?
Roll me a persuasion check.
Oh, she's not good at those. She's a really nice person, but she doesn't have persuasive skills.
I wanted to ask if I could give an inspiration, but damn.
Can she?
I mean, you can if you can sneak it in there.
Well, I mean, given the fact that she's currently talking,
Yeah, you're probably not.
yeah,
So no.
I believe. I'm not going to say anything. Let fate take the wheel.
Okay, 17.
Well, we've tried mercenary work before. Didn't go as planned. Lost people. Not looking to hurt anyone. Just looking, if you just give us all you have, free to go.
But what are you gonna do if... I mean, you all seem like really nice people who are just trying to get by. What are you gonna do, though, if you, I don't know, one day come across people who want to defend themselves and then you find yourselves with no other choice but to hurt them or, worse, kill them? That'd be really, really terrible. And I mean,
We've done
all of
that.
you...
Wait, what?
People have defended themselves. We've knocked them out. Taken their things.
What happens
Left
if
But-
they're a bit more than you can chew? I mean, then you get hurt, right?
Yeah,
Can't say we've not lost people.
and I mean, if it's mercenary work that you don't like because you lose people important to you and whatnot, why not find work that doesn't involve that? I mean, there's smithing, there's woodwork, there's so many different ways.
You ever tried to paint? Good for the soul.
We're going to stick with this.
Well, you're
You're
so-
very hypocritical, you know. You're too afraid to do mercenary work because you don't want your people getting hurt, so you're gonna hold people up.
If that's the way it's gonna be for us, the way it is.
Why not then just do honest mercenary work? It's just as dangerous.
You just see him just kind of like give a sigh, and the guy in the Scowling man in front of the greatsword just kind of tenses his muscles a bit as he's got this grip on his greatsword.
How about
Look.
this? I will give you 20 gold right now. Actually, let me make sure I have that much. Yes.
We should have more than that, man.
Yeah.
I will give you 20 gold right now if you decide to change your ways. Right here, we'll find some honest work instead of holding people up on a main road.
Yeah, to be completely honest with you guys, kind of going off of that as well, like, just how you don't want to have to hurt people and whatnot, we really don't want to either. I mean, we've taken down some really big, scary things, and a couple of people, in comparison, isn't really that much, but if we can avoid having to hurt, we'd really prefer to do that.
Honestly, we
that
don't want to have to hurt
aside-
you guys. I mean,
That aside, even if you continued this after we left, people are going to get frustrated, and then they're going to send other adventurers out who will probably kill you all.
I have a suggestion. What about we prove it in battle?
Seems
I'm going to ask you a
counterintuitive.
question then.
Hmm.
Is our possessions truly worth that, Gander?
Worth.
Let me ask again. Does your utter and complete chagrin blind you towards the group of strangers that stands before you?
We've come from various places.
One isn't born into ignorance, they learn it.
Yes, I was getting to my point. Misfortune people who have lost things, people who have tried to find a way. Some people here who have basically had nowhere to go, nowhere to turn to. Some are on the run. It's not really a place to go into a city and look for work, and some have wanted posters up for them.
Do you have families?
Some of us do.
And the main thing that's kind of getting in the way of work is some of you are wanted and whatnot.
Indeed.
Why not work for us then?
Works an eyebrow at that and is folds his arms. What work could you possibly give us? How could you think? How much money? How much coin do you even have? You seem like travelers.
Well, we're actually sort of mercenary, and we get coin coming in constantly from the work that we do. So there's a steady income to us, and therefore steady income to you constantly. I mean, it'd be a real big bad business decision to sort of just take the coin on us now when you could be steadily bringing in things constantly, you know?
Mercenary work for mercenaries.
Just call her War Chief Candy.
Roll me another persuasion check.
Oh no! Please, Evelyn, please.
Perhaps?
I mean, if Evelyn has anything to say, she could.
I suppose
Marcus,
this will either help
could,
or harm.
could Marcus give, because I'm proficient with persuasion, could I say some words to give Candy advantage at least?
That is true.
It depends on what you say.
Okay. Marcus will kind of look at him. Look, y'all admit it, you have families, right? And you want to see them again, right? You want your family. Any of you got kids and wives or husbands, children?
See if you all kind of look to each other and just kind of nod a little.
What do you want? Do you want your children growing up to think that my father, my mother, my parent goes around hurting innocent folk for money, that the food we get, we got out the blood and sweat of innocent people? Or do you want your kids to be proud of you? Do you want them to think, my parent is a hero? They defend and earn their money helping people, making the world a better place, and making sure everyone is a better man for it by working their word and making the lives better around them. Wouldn't you rather be able to tell them that, and when they grow up they can have their own kids and look at you and go, that's your grandfather, that was a great man, and you will bounce your grandkids on your knee with pride in your voice, with hope in your heart, and you will understand. Yes, actually, this is what he was intended to be, Judah.
Oh my god.
Candy is just nodding her head along to all of it.
He was meant to be an inspirational speaker. And you and your people will know the truth, and they will hold you, and you will say, my grandfather was a great man, my grandmother was a great woman, and I will be beside them, and I will honor their memory, and they will live down in history as the greatest people there is.
Beautiful.
Kenny, you can roll an advantage.
Yay!
Or if Marcus wanted to take it and roll.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I always
Oh.
feel like Marcus should roll.
Oh, I was about to say, if Marcus could roll. God damn it.
I don't suppose I could just roll a flat one.
You can roll a flat one.
If I may, before you fucking do, I swear to God, Evelyn will just kind of add with the rest of that, and she just quietly says, it's very simple. With everything that has led up to now, everyone, regardless of your upbringing, has a choice. A choice, a decision, and the potential to rise above one's own circumstances. And that choice is something that people oftentimes never really understand that they have control over, which, in reality, it just takes a single moment. Make that moment now. I want to give that inspiration.
So that's
Okay.
a D6, I believe.
Indeed.
Oh yeah, here we go.
Which is not 20.
Okay, that's actually it's the same modifier. I hit the wrong one by accident, but it's the exact same modifier plus 5.
Yeah.
And then I'll roll that D6 on top.
Also, all of this is
26!
All of this is making me realize what I should make the out of combat thing. So she's constantly trying to be nice, but her persuasion's so low.
But Marcus just I just imagine Marcus like standing there heroically with his arm up in the air, like a twinkle in his eye.
See how, like, a lot of them kind of look between each other and kind of look towards the captain. You see this woman up here who has been kind of like tossing a dagger up in one hand, just kind of stop, look over, kind of look over towards him. Right. You make a good point. So what, pray tell, you say we do? How are you going to pay us? Keep us from doing things. Give us something to do.
How
Well,
much
perhaps...
do you guys normally make off one of these hauls?
Depends what we rob.
Well, there's 10 of them, right?
Yeah, there's about 10 of them.
Well, Marcus is the idiot who made the speech, and he's a monk. He don't fucking need money. Marcus will stride towards them confidently. I said as I said before, me and my companions just recently came across a place where we saw poor innocent people murdered in the back by cruel, dangerous monsters tearing through the streets and these roads, killing innocent people. People like you can save those lives, and you should be rewarded for your efforts. And I can't believe I'm about to do this. He will pull out a purse of 200 gold. I hope this is enough for all of you to work your way and help patrol these streets and keep good, honest people alive and living so they can be proud. And obviously, the creatures and monsters you take, I guarantee you will have the rewards that you are also allowed to keep for yourselves. And I guarantee you, you do this well enough. You keep working hard and you show the people that you have changed. They will forgive your past transgressions and welcome you back with open arms in their hearts.
You see the leader just kind of make his way over and kind of grabs the patch of gold and weighs it a little. So I assume you guys are making a one-time deal.
Well, I have to admit, we are on our own journey and traveling forth. But, looks over at their cleric. I guarantee you, if you wish to keep us moving and we wish to engage us in payment, we may have work for you in the future. You, my friend, and points at the person who cast Dispel Magic, you strike me as one with the clerical arts of magic, correct?
I do, yes.
Well, my name is Marcus Brightfist, and if I know a little bit about magic, you may have a spell that will let you communicate with me now that we are familiar with each other, correct?
Indeed.
Well,
He went full Southern Baptist.
that was the original intent for this dude. I just haven't had an opportunity to do it yet. If you help us and bring us forth, you can get in touch with us, and if we may have future jobs for you as well. But for the time being, would this be enough to keep you satisfied to help patrol these streets and keep people safe? Earn what you can through the destruction and rework your way back into society's good graces. And in the future, we may have more work for you again, having such fine, upstanding citizens like yourselves helping us.
kind of weighs puts the gold away in his pack, holds out his hand. I don't normally give, well, the people I'm supposedly going to rob my full name, but, well, I'm referred to as Vice, but my name, Devlin Moorgraves.
It is a pleasure to meet you, Devlin.
I'm gonna incite the fuck out of these people now.
Sure.
I mean, Marcus will too, I suppose, just because he might as well. Oof. Oof. Marcus trusts him completely.
I'll use my inspiration on this.
Okay. Wow, that is a
Worth.
very, very spicy inspiration. Yeah, a lot of them seem pretty moved by Marcus's words, in combination with everyone else. Candy did make the initial speech, but Marcus has kind of taken the stage and, offered them gold and all this.
Einar's gonna hop off the cart and kind of walk up there too. I look the Skjallan man up and down a moment. He's gonna speak Skjallan with him for just a second. You know, friends, I don't know what circumstances brought you here from the north, but if you guys do turn over a new leaf, and it looks like most of you are sincere in that, when we do find a place to set roots, we'll let you know, and you're free to stay with us, no judgments.
He nods.
As long as what you're doing is forging a new path, a better path, I have no qualms in harboring any of you, and I will even go as far to step up to bat to defend any of you if needed.
Very well. Name's Yargren.
Good to meet you, Einar. I'll hold out a hand for him to shake.
Takes it and shakes it, and it's very heavy, strong grip that he has as he shakes your hand.
He does like the, I like to think that Skjallans do either the Terminator one where they both grasp hands and bulge biceps, or they go for the mid, like, wrist clasp.
Okay.
And Einar will return a firm but not too firm handshake. Feel free to tell your comrades what I told you. Or I guess I can just tell them up straight. He'll repeat himself in common for them all to kind of understand. Marcus, I think you would agree with such a thing, yes?
I think we could very much agree with that.
Precisely.
Alright. Well, we do business in the future. He nods his head at you. Alright! Let's pack up. Let's do something else for a change. See if it pays off. We'll just kind of move along the side of the road. See the woman just kind of sitting. She's now just kind of sat on the edge of the ledge there. She's flipping a dagger now back in her hands. Like, oh, I was really itching to throw my dagger at something today.
Well, you can always take a crack at me, ma'am, and he'll kind of tilt his head.
Throws a dagger at you.
And I catch missile.
Oh fuck!
Think.
I don't think it hits your AC anyways.
Well, even if it did, even if I let it hit me,
Yeah,
unless the damage exceeds like 15, it can't hurt me.
Yeah, no.
Right there. So Marcus will just kind of catch the dagger and flip it back up. Feel better?
Hello.
And he'll just kind of underhand toss it back up towards her.
She catches it back. She has like all these knives just kind of and daggers just kind of like hooked into various pockets that she's made on her armor. What? Go on then.
Well, until we meet again, friend, and I'm glad that we were able to help you see the better way of life. Marcus will return back to the group.
Okay. As you all gather back and continue on your way past the bandit encounter, successfully, peacefully averted.
I think there's some really good teamwork and friendship with cooperations.
Looks at the time I spent changing their stats.
Oh, God.
That's right.
Were you expecting such rousing speeches?
No. That wasn't really what I had in mind. I had maybe they might make a speech and try to convince them otherwise, and maybe it'll probably go badly, and then they fight anyways, and something will happen. We see where that goes, but yeah,
Maria would have thrown what's his name under the bus and been like, "Doesn't he look like he has more money? Just take his money and we'll just be on our way."
See, the counter argument is no. We can just take all your money.
I mean, I feel for you. I feel for you, Storm. Like, I know Storm really wants us to fight here, but as soon as you cast it, as soon as you have that level 3 spell slot ready, I'm like, I think I agree with Judah, 3rd level spellcaster. We don't want to mess with that if we can't avoid
I mean,
it. Right
I didn't real. I wasn't gonna say like I really wanted to fight, but I was just like, I'm trying to pull up and see like, okay, no, I'll give him a few more. A little bit more to see if there's any more leeway, and no, you guys pulled through. It was good.
Nice.
So you're all gonna make your way past. Reed just kind of pipes up as he's just kind of been watching the entire ordeal. Wow, that was very well handled.
Oh, by the way,
Congratulations.
Storm, before I forget, you want to type up that bandit leader's name for me so I can put it in my notes?
Yes. Yes.
Same with the Skjallan, man.
Ex-bandit leader and Marcus's new friend.
But yeah, as he just kind of pipes up, very well handled. I was wondering if a fight was going to break out, and I don't know, that could have ended badly for either sides.
Well, I mean, they seemed like decent folk, right? They were just trying to survive. It seemed like a bad thing to just kind of have to fight them and possibly kill them over it.
Yeah, that's very true indeed.
And besides, I mean, if they were really bad people, they would have just attacked us straight out without taking risks, right? Ambush style. Instead, they were trying to did what they thought was right. They just, were lost along the way, right?
You handled all that very well. Very rare that I see that happen, actually.
Well, I mean, I just kind of picked up with Miss Candy here let down. I mean, she was the real hero starting that whole conversation.
Candy did.
You're muted, Nikki, if you're talking.
Oh, sorry, I'm pouring a drink.
Okay.
Would she say anything?
I missed what was said. What was it?
Marcus was just saying that Candy was, he just picked up what Candy laid down. She was the real hero for getting the ball started.
No. all I did is this one. As soon as I thought things were going a bit wrong, I figured we don't want to do that.
I mean, Candy, you were right. They were people in need, and we needed to show that compassion. And I'm glad you were able to see that.
She just gives this grin.
And besides, as my master used to say, help a person along the way, you make the world a better place behind you. And I think I can confidently say with all of us, we left the world better now than we would have before.
Yeah, exactly.
Alrighty. So, as the day passes by, no longer any other issues throughout the day. If you wish to speak any more with Regis about anything, you're free to, or anyone else. For anyone else who was noticing, it seemed like Bianca was itching for a fight, like anything to just release her anger and frustrations. She just very obviously she was twitching, kind of flipping her daggers, just like looking throughout the whole thing. And as that has kind of progressed, that conversation progressed, you see her she just kind of has a more somber outlook because she's kind of taken in the words. She kind of actually.
I was going to ask, I guess Marcus would have checked too, when he mentioned the whole guarding the path to make sure disasters like what just happened back there, did that seem to affect her any?
Roll me an insight.
I could do that. Ooh, 22.
It seemed to have hurt her a little bit. She, flinched at the statement of all of that, and, but she understands your words. She comes up to speak to you. It was really, valiant what you did, Marcus.
Heck, it wasn't nothing. It was just doing my duty sort of thing.
She kind of, gives, this kind of small smile.
Bianca,
Yes?
I'd like to extend the same opportunity to you. Should we, kind of gestures to the party, find a place to settle down, you're more than welcome to live there among us. Fresh start, perhaps. New land.
I think that would be nice, actually.
Very well. And Einar kind of gazes out towards the horizon a moment. Is it still the same day?
Yes. It's about sunset now. It's getting close to dark.
He's gonna look over towards Evelyn a moment. And kind of give her a look. I guess you're gonna have to insight it.
Sure.
Wow. Wow.
Oh,
She is still blown away by Marcus's speech and just can't accept anything else.
oh my gosh.
Uh-huh.
So he just gives you a look. You think maybe he's constipated all of a sudden, I guess.
I mean, I expect nothing less.
Wow. It's all the protein.
But a look?
Yeah, like he wants to. I mean, you nat one the inside. I can't say.
Motherfucker, there's such thing as passive insight.
I guess after a few minutes, it seems like he wants to talk, but in private, so to speak.
I have no idea what the fuck that actually is, though. So I guess I know she kind of tilts her head a little bit, but doesn't really say much other than Scotch.
Okay. Guess if there's nothing else.
Actually, Marcus was going to go up to Bianca. You said she was looking kind of frustrated and almost kind of released tension with a fight.
Yeah, at the start.
But she's looking better now, or
Yeah,
she's still kind of
she
looking
looks
antsy?
Not as much as before, but now she seems a lot better. She's still kind of thinking on things.
No, fair enough. She seemed better thinking. I guess Marcus will let her be okay. My insight earlier made her, I guess, carries over just for the sake of like, okay,
Yeah.
probably better to leave her alone and let her sort her stuff out.
Okay.
But Marcus, while he gets ready for bed, will start doing his 100 push-ups and his one.
Okay.
I will take second watch.
Alrighty. I'm not gonna go through the whole watch shenanigans. Pretty much nothing happens throughout the night. If you all want to have your RP watches, if you want to have private conversations, feel free to do so.
Depends who would take watch with Einar.
I guess since Sinar had kind of eyes emojied at her, she shall.
Alright.
Back and forth.
Eventually, during the watch, Einar would look over to Evelyn and at everybody else sleeping. Did Regis camp with us, I assume?
He is in his wagon,
But he's with the camp.
yes.
He's gonna look back over to Evelyn. I kind of spilled the beans a little.
Yeah. Can you want to tell me what that was about?
Well, to be honest, Marcus just went on a hell of a roll there. Even I got a little inspired by that, but that said, I wanted to cement things with those individuals. As great as that speech was, I was a little wary that perhaps they would go back on their word, and I feel fairly confident that's not going to be the case. At least for now, but the same thing with Bianca. She needs a new start, I think. And perhaps William as well, even. Hell, looks like we got a little bit of a following already. I think we should definitely speak more about finding a place to settle down with the others. Despite the whole Knoll thing and people coming to look for us, Marcus kind of unwittingly threw us into contractual obligation. But I think it might be easier to give them all a place to stay where they aren't judged by past sins, but can live peacefully and make some coin. That's not quite from our own pocket.
Yeah, you're probably right. I mean, what Marcus did was rather unexpected, or perhaps I'm just ignorant for that. I remember it was a while ago. Marcus did something similar at the previous town with a kid, I believe I was told.
Yes, I think he's going to try to do this as often as possible. Seems ingrained in his character.
Yeah, I suppose you're right. But no, I do think that it would be good if we were to kind of find our own place. It kind of feels like that was the entire topic of conversation, right?
A little bit. Yeah.
It's sorry if I'm not commenting too much on per se the usual. It's just I suppose I find myself being a bit surprised.
How so?
It's like when I thought that a lot of them all were going to be so ready to fight, it was a bit of a surprise, I suppose. Hard to say. It's like
Oh,
they seem to be very, very, very inclined on fighting, even though very likely it could have ended very badly for them.
yes, it likely would have. But I think the moral of the story is with enough patience and temperance, not everything needs to be solved in violence. Some things, I mean, violence is very much a language, very universal language, if you ask me. But luckily, we didn't need to speak that one today.
I suppose. I suppose it's a little scary, seeing how that's. It's a bit scary seeing that that's exactly where they were willing to go if they saw it as a necessity.
They were desperate. You heard them, some of them had families to feed. Though I'm not quite sure what stops them really from just finding a place and setting up a town. Although I guess that's probably harder than it looks. Speaking of, remind me in the morning to ask Regis about any possible castle ruins. Maybe not around here, but on the other side of the continent, I think Orobani territory would be better. Maybe even neutral territory.
Repeat that last bit. Sorry.
Oh, you just said to remind him in the morning to ask Regis about any dilapidated ruins that they might be able to travel to claim and rebuild.
Yeah, no. Perhaps neutral, it seems? I feel like that would be the general best.
Probably. I believe the half-elf city might be neutral. Somewhere around there. Could be mistaken, though. Something to look into more when we're in the big city.
Yeah. Definitely something to look into.
Hmm. I was thinking a bit about Regis's story, specifically the 7 sins of past. And how they're responsible for the mind flay magic. I like to think that those of us in this party would like to leave a better footprint upon this world than that.
Sorry, repeat that one as well. I don't. Ugh. Head machine broke.
Oh, he was saying that he's not a fan of what the 7 sins did, and he would like to leave a better footprint on the world than what they did.
Hmm. Yeah, I can agree with that.
Not quite sure how Damien and Rhea feel about that. I quite haven't gauged them that well, but
Well, to be fair, you haven't quite found the opportunity to.
it's true. Damien seems to be quite antagonistic towards some of us. I thought it was just a me thing, but I saw how he acted the other night around you. Makes me wonder.
I'm not entirely sure myself, to be completely honest with you. If I'm to be completely honest, I don't know. It felt like he was just stressed. I personally can't hold that above. I can't hold that above him.
I wasn't suggesting such.
Oh no, I'm just speaking out loud, I suppose. I haven't quite begun to pick anything up from them. To be fair, we're all some type of different. But for what it's worth, caution is well warranted.
Well, one way or the other, I like to think that within those two, there's probably something good. It may take some time for that to manifest itself. But we'll just have to be willing to wait.
Yeah, I suppose so. Sorry if this is, I suppose out of nowhere, but how are you feeling with everything that's been going on?
What do you mean?
Oh, it's there have been quite a few things that have been going about, and well, I suppose you could say that I was just a bit curious.
Oh, you mean the Knoll attack? Or just everything that's happened since we've met?
What's been happening? Yeah, I'm curious.
I mean, there's a lot to take in. After all, it's not every day you're transported to a demigod's realm and fighting ghosts and specters and ghouls and then necromancers and then ravenous gnolls looking for you. Certainly been a lot to wrap my head around, that's for sure. I'm just a dumb islander in some folks' opinion.
I suppose I understand.
And yourself?
Adjusting. Adjusting is what I would say. Um, definitely rather wild. That's for sure, but
I'm gonna insight that.
Oh,
Boom.
Jesus Christ, you two.
Twinsies! Twinsies, they can't read one another.
Yeah, she's like,
pain.
Ever the enigma. They're both stoic in their own way, so I guess it makes sense.
Yeah, frankly. But yeah, she just kind of nods and continues, and it's just with everything that's been going on. Lots of new information, new pieces of myself, yourself, everyone that we've all been kind of learning together. I wouldn't go as far as saying that anything scared, but definitely a place to learn from, I guess.
Yeah. Well, I'm hoping the city provides some reprieve from all of this. It's one big festival all month long. I imagine people will find a way to enjoy themselves. I, for one, will take great pleasure in holding another forging contest.
That doesn't surprise me in the slightest. I don't know. I know I say that I'm just adjusting, but suppose you could say that, I don't know. For a bunch of more or less random people, I'd say that we've been doing rather okay.
Well, I'll agree there, but I don't know about... I don't think saying random is quite the correct word.
She kind of quirks an eyebrow at that.
I suppose in a sense we're random, but we all have one thing in common, just about.
Dashing good looks?
Mm. Did you say dashing good looks?
Yes.
Well, I mean, yeah, I suppose. I was more talking about the whole omen thing.
She kind of slowly, just like her eyes just kind of, oh my.
I mean... he was...
One day I'm going to make you laugh. One of these days.
Ah! See, that's what you were going for. Well, it's not too difficult to make me laugh. Just prank Damien.
Why does it not surprise me? What's...
He shrugs. Don't know.
There has to be something going on there. What? How did all of this begin? I'm confused.
You would have to ask him. He just... one day said that my craftsmanship was shoddy. But he's never really seen it. You know, it's quite bold for a man who is dying when we met him, too. I don't hold that against him. I mean, I don't know how any of us would fare by ourselves against two specters, but at the same time. That's okay. I will craft him a weapon that will be wonderful, and he will never use it. I guarantee you. He will be too proud to wield such a thing. But it's okay, because I will have forged a great weapon all the same. And he'll use it eventually.
Consider that a peace offering?
Prophecy.
She just smiles before rolling her eyes.
I read about them in that book. Prophecy. Maybe I'll even etch the prophecy within the weapon's hilt. But I'll wrap it under the leather so he doesn't know it until after the fact.
She's like looking at him very clearly, trying to stifle laughter with like this squiggle of a smile over her face.
I bet you're thinking to yourself, I had no idea Skjolans could be so... what's the word? Petty.
That is one of them, yes.
Well, it's true. We could be just as petty as anybody else. I think Damien, though. Damien takes the proverbial cake in this instance.
You sure you don't just secretly want to be his friend?
There's no secrets about it. I would like to be the man's friend. I don't like being antagonistic towards other people. I view it as a challenge, because in my hometown, well, people normally did this as a challenge to see if you're worthy of being their friend. I know, very backwards, but we are just from a small island.
Ah. Well, I get the appeal of banter, I suppose. Despite its, well, interesting little bits. But, nonetheless, though, I'm glad to know that you're doing. And, I suppose the appropriate time hasn't exactly found itself, especially considering that part of our, well, he kind of looks over towards Marcus's tent. Well, one of our expenses have been greatly reduced, so buying something at the current moment probably isn't object.
Yes, I am honestly shocked he gave them 200 gold.
Are you?
Kind of. I didn't even have that much. Where did he get all that gold from? Then again, I did buy 10 wagon wheels, so maybe that was part of it. But those weren't that expensive.
You boys are too much.
Yes, we all have our quirks.
Us, a little bit more so, I suppose.
Indeed.
Evelyn at least don't got much more to say. Also, after fighting brain melt for that entire conversation, I can say that I need to go.
That is fair.
No worries.
Y'all later.
Good chat. We'll see you next week. Oh,
Boy.
Bye.
I might
Bye,
pop
Judah.
tomorrow too, Judah.
Oh, Nikki, even though you ain't here technically, but yeah. See y'all.
See you,
Bye.
buds.
Okay. Did anyone else have any conversations?
Did Rhea want to take a watch with Marcus?
Hey, would you be up for it, or would you rather...
I don't know. I'm just kind of here right now. Feel like I was like, I want to talk before, and then like Judah's like, I'm leaving, and it's like Candy's not here, and Damien's not here. I'm just like, guess we're finishing up then. And my brain just turned off. It's like, does Rhea want to have a conversation? I'm like, I just turned off. What is happening?
Where did Nikki go?
I don't know.
She's doing something at the moment. She
Oh,
messaged me.
yeah. That is fair. Yeah, they might be having some issues.
E.
Well, do you want to have a conversation with Marcus? Come on, Ray has to have some opinions off that speech he just had. Whether for ill calling him an idiot or whatever, he's gotta have some opinions off that.
I mean, we can say they take watch, and just if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't.
Fair enough.
I don't know if Marcus would initiate the conversation or
Yeah,
Rhea would.
I'd say we're at
Rhea definitely wouldn't.
Yeah. Marcus would most definitely start the conversation. So let's see how this goes. So Marcus would get Miss Ray up for a watch, but he would do it in the only way he knows how, full of energy and piss and vinegar. Come on, Miss Ray, it's time for our watch. Can't sleep in every time. Gotta get that work in.
I love Marcus.
Does she stir awake, or is she just kind of like turns
She
over?
stirs awake and like looks at Marcus. Just like, seriously.
I imagine the worst bedhead too.
It's okay.
Marcus has the most obnoxious 5 o'clock, like 2 o'clock in the morning grin. He looks like he just had like the best snap ever and is just full of piss and vinegar energy, full of life. He's like, come on, it's time. Get up there, get a watch out there. Get some night gaze and see the stars. It'll be wonderful. Tell you what, if you do it right, I can take a nice picture of you with the stars and the moon in the background. I bet you it'll be beautiful.
Rhea just like rubs at her eyes. Just like, how do you always have this much energy?
When you ask the question, Marcus will stop. He will give this like look up at some serious thought and go, you know, I never really thought of it before. I guess it's just my sunny disposition.
You'd think that because it was sunny disposition that it would go away when the sun went away.
Ah, heck no. Don't you... Come on, Miss Ray. The sun never goes away. Don't you know the reason the moonlight shines is because it has the sunlight behind it?
She just like face palms slightly and like gets up and just like, ugh, let's just get this over with.
So Marcus will get up for the watch. And you'll notice that with Marcus, okay, let's get ready for this. And you just start noticing when he's in his watch, he just starts doing a few squats to kind of limber up. By the way, Miss Ray, I have to admit, I don't think me and you have ever had much of a conversation before. This is a good time to get to know each other, I think.
Oh, the image I'm having is great. It's just like Rhea just like kind of like lounging like they're on like a log or something, and then just Marcus is like not even too far away, just doing squats.
Yeah. It's up, just squat. Like, after all, I mean, you must have questions about ourselves. I mean, we should get to know each other. We are traveling companions after all. And you look over, and now that he's done yeah, pretty much, he's done his squats, and you start seeing him do upside-down push-ups. I mean, surely you got some questions about my life, and I have to admit, I have a few about yours if you're so willing to share. But, of course, ladies should go first in these sort of things.
Ever the gentleman.
I'm laughing so hard at that because I can imagine Marcus doing that.
Well, he's also doing these.
Yeah.
So as he's
What
talking,
was the question again?
his question was basically, do you have any questions for me? Because we should get to know each other. And you know what? Ladies should go first because that's just the polite thing to do. So if you have any questions about my life, feel free to ask.
Me trying to think of what Rhea knows and what I know, and just thinking, I'm like, I think she knows this, and I don't think she knows this, and I'm like,
Well, you can ask me, and I would tell you if Marcus would have told Ray been around for those conversations.
No, I feel like most things she knows. That is important to her at the moment.
So she'll just kind of look at. So it's just silent response, nothing to say to him.
Yeah, she just like shrugs.
You sure there's nothing you want to know? I mean, I guess.
I literally just woke up and you expect me to know what to ask you.
Well, I thought you might have had a question or two. I mean, heck, we were just discussing when you came into our lives how we are both probably the most traveled amongst our company. You might have questions about where I've been. I know I have a few about yours since you said you were all over the place. And heck, it is rare to meet someone who's more well-traveled than myself. Like, for example, and I'm sorry, Storm, what's the name of the Asian island Marcus's master's from?
The city.
But yeah, well, the country in general.
Isn't specifically a country. It's more of the city that it's from is called Kagawa.
Kagawa, okay. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, I have that here. I just wonder if there was a country too. Like, for example, mate, have you ever been to Kagawa?
No, I haven't. I believe not, anyway.
Nope.
Well, there you go. I could tell you a bit about that place. That's the home of my master. I went there when I was a kid when I was first training with him. You notice how he stopped doing upside down push-ups and how he has moved on to sit-ups? If you'll notice that thing is back at Kagawa, you find this. Storm, correct me if I'm wrong. This is the Chinese. It's just a basic Chinese culture, right?
That's Japanese culture.
It's Japanese culture. My place is Japanese culture. Beautiful culture there. They wear these fancy robes called kimonos and such, and wonderful silks. And I gotta tell you, the art there was something I had to do that was breathtaking. Like, honestly, my master's art, as I've mentioned before, is some of the most breathtaking art you would ever see. I would not dare to hesitate, Miss Rhea, that if you ever saw one of my master's pieces, it would bring a tear to your heart and make you rethink your world, rethink the beauty of the world around you. I guarantee it, it is something to move any heart. That man could make a dragon weep with his artwork.
Rhea just looks at you like doubtful, giving you like a slow nod. Yes, I'm sure it will make me weep like a little girl.
Oh, I don't mean quite like a little girl, Miss Rhea. I mean in joy, in the pleasure of life. As he moves off from his sit-ups, you start noticing how he starts doing his jumping jacks. I mean, it's like this. Well, it's like when a mother first holds their child in their arms, or when two lost lovers come together after years of separation. It's just that joy, that purity, that absolute fondness of the living humanoid nature that kind of possesses in all intelligent creatures. It amplifies that feeling and makes you feel it to your very core.
Rhea just kind of thinks about what you said, kind of not quite grasping it by the look on her face, and just nodding.
As Marcus finishes jumping jacks and then moves on to finding a tree nearby and starts doing pull-ups on the nearest tree branch. Just noticing her kind of not seeming to comprehend the phrase, like, Miss Rhea, do you not quite understand the emotions I'm speaking of?
Not in particular.
Well, how about this then? It can be like the comfort when you're a small child being held by your mother. Everybody's got a mother.
There's some form of recognition at what you're talking about now.
It's a bit like that joy you get when you're in that embrace. Speaking of which, if you don't mind me asking, Miss Rhea, where were you born and raised?
Born and raised. I mean, like I said, I was always traveling, so it's not really one place in particular.
Well, that's true, but you just had a place where you were originated from. I mean, were you born on the road specifically?
I mean, do you expect me to remember? I was a baby.
No, I figured your parents might have mentioned where you were from originally.
Yes, parents.
Marcus will... Should I insight... Marcus is going to insight check that.
What are you inciting for?
Nothing. Absolutely nothing. 2. 1, 1, 2. What rolls? I guess I could go off my own inference. He was kind of wondering, is like, did that inference mean... Does that inference refer that you didn't have parents so much?
Well, she mentioned before that she's traveled with her father.
Yeah, she traveled with her father. Yeah, that's true. Well, I mean, Well, then how about this, then? I mean, just small chit-chat. You've been all over the world. You said, what's your favorite place you've been so far?
Me, as a person, has no idea how to answer this.
I'm sorry.
Wait, no, I know how to answer this. I'm stupid.
Okay.
My favorite place was the College of Mysterium, where I was before, all of this nonsense has arisen. That's the word that I wanted.
No kidding. Well, that's that's unfortunate that the place you enjoyed the most was the place you were taken from. I mean, it's a bit like what we had. I suppose something like we might have had in common. And you'll notice he stops doing chin-ups and then he starts hanging it upside down from the tree and starts doing upside-down sit-ups. He keeps going. I mean, because honestly, I myself was actually out on a bit of a journey quest myself to go see that great water city in the distance, way out into the East Coast. I was actually in the Empress Port, about to charter a ship down there to get myself a way of seeing that wonder and hopefully painting it down and getting a good image of it. And then, poof, we were in that strange shadow-like realm with the ghosts, and next thing you know, we're all together and we're these omens and everything. Heck of a thing, right?
Yes.
But what did you love so much about that place? I'm assuming it was the learning. I gather you're much of a one for books and knowledge and all that.
Yes, it was the learning. It was the knowledge. It was. I chose to learn magic, and that's my passion. So, obviously, it's a place that I enjoy very much.
Well, I can understand that. Not so much the magic. I mean, as you know, I mean, my magic consists of only what happened with these omen powers of mine, shooting little light beams from my hands and that. But I understand the need, the drive to better yourself and learn all you can and improve yourself. I think we have that in common, actually, Miss Rhea. You do it with your mind, and I do it with my body, mind and soul sort of thing. Right? Be the best you can be at the thing you love. And I'll say now, though, that Marcus has now finished his upside-down sit-ups and is now doing somersaults.
Okay, I think my anxiety is saying that this is too much now. I'm gonna.
Oh, that's fair. We can say that's where we'll end it up with Marcus finishing off, just rambling off then.
Alright. Does anyone else have anything?
Welcome back, Nikki.
How you doing?
Sanko, I'm good. Where are we currently?
We're just
Camp.
at camp watches. I don't know if Nikki wanted to, or Candy wanted to join in to talk to anybody in the party.
Did anything happen before we arrived at camp, or?
No, we just set up camp.
Do it in the morning when everybody's awake.
Thinking emoji. Yeah, no, I don't think with the stuff that happened today, I don't think she has anything to bring up with anyone currently. She'll be more kind of returned to writing, practicing she already practiced, so more rewriting the story that she kind of poorly writ the first time.
Second draft.
Exactly.
Okay. I don't know if you would have anything you wanted to discuss with Syl, maybe?
Yeah. Let me swap back over to here. Okay. While she's kind of busy with writing, she glances off. What is Syl up to currently?
Syl's just sitting on your shoulder watching.
Okay.
Do you ever? Well, I mean, I know you're sitting there watching me kind of write, but it's not boring for you, is it?
Not really.
Do you know how to write?
Yes.
What? Really? Well, how does that work? Do you have like a tiny pencil, or?
Yes, essentially, I need a tinier writing implement, but I can write.
Hmm.
Kind of nods at that, returns to writing, then pausing after a moment again.
You know, with those people sort of talking about, some of them having families and whatnot waiting for them,
Hmm.
I guess it kind of made me wonder. I definitely always known that we're definitely family, but,
Kind of glances over at him.
do you also have more family waiting for you somewhere?
Yeah, I suppose I do. But don't really know how to get back to them, so
Oh. So, that day that we met then, you haven't been able to see them since?
not really.
Do you miss them?
Sometimes they were kind of a pain sometimes as well.
Kind of frowns a bit at that as she sets her pencil down and lightly takes him off her shoulder to cup her hands in front of her as kind of like a seat for him and looks down at him.
Aw, how come you never said anything? If I knew you were missing them, we could have, well, I don't know, find a way to, make it so you could see them again or hear from them again?
I haven't. I mean, I don't miss them that much. To want to go back to see them, yeah, it's like I know it's been some time, but well, I don't know. It's nice to have a little bit of freedom. A lot of freedom, I suppose.
Did you not have freedom with them?
Not as much.
Why's that?
His family was kind of strict.
Strict. So,
Don't go to the material plane.
Hmm?
Very scary.
oh, this plane here?
Yes, this one.
Did they say that because they thought you'd get stuck?
Maybe.
And right now you're stuck.
I mean, they thought I would be killed here too, and they thought it was a very terrible place full of terrible big people who are very. All they care about is their war and things like that, and killing each other. And... I mean, it's different here.
Did you?
I don't think. Go on.
Did you only start thinking that after we met everyone? I mean, because really the only comparison you had, I guess, was me and the tribe.
Kind of makes a face at that.
I mean, I guess there's some good people. Yes, I suppose a lot of people here, especially from what I've seen today. There's good people.
Kind
They
of
just
grins
seem
at
to-
that.
That everyone is bad.
So you admit they're good.
I admit that they're good people. Do I wish to speak to them? No.
Are you just shy? Is that why?
It's not because I'm shy.
I mean, I know it made sense not wanting to talk or show yourself to the tribe. Honestly, I think I kind of preferred it that way. But what stops you here?
I don't know. It's just I'm used to you only seeing me, and I guess it's what I prefer.
Hmm. Do
Do
you
you
think
want
people?
me to?
Hmm?
Do you want me to show myself to them?
Kind of purses her lips, looking up at the sky, and thought at that.
Well, our relationship is sort of like a super duper special one, and I do kind of get a sense of importance of being the only one to see you, but despite that,
Looks back down at him again with a quirk of her lip.
in the end, that's your decision. I don't want whether I want it or don't want it to influence that.
I think we both know who makes better decisions here.
Do we? I mean, sometimes I make good decisions, and then sometimes I make really bad ones, and then sometimes you make good decisions, and sometimes you make really bad ones.
Yeah, but you're nice to everyone. I don't know, I'm just... I don't know if... I don't want to make things worse for you. I might say something they don't like, or... whatever.
Worse? No. You could never make things worse. I mean, literally my whole life you just made things better.
I suppose. I don't know.
It's fine if you don't want to. I was just curious.
That's fair.
How's he looking?
Roll an insight check.
Oh, I'm wonderful at those. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, I figured.
You don't know.
Yeah.
He seems fine.
I think I sucked all the luck out of insight.
Well, 1, 2, 4. So yeah.
Kind of adjusting him just a bit so he's more seated on one palm instead. She reaches her other up with just like a single finger and kind of very lightly at the top of his head.
Well, as long as your decision is not based on thinking you'd embarrass me or make me look bad or anything like that, which is really silly, then okay. That's what you want to do, that's perfectly fine.
I never make you look bad.
Frowns
Probably
at
make
that.
others look bad.
What? Why? Why do you say that?
It's funny.
It's not funny. I don't like you talking bad about yourself.
I didn't say myself.
You said
I
that
said-
you would make us look bad.
No, I said that I wouldn't make you look bad. I would make them look bad.
How would you do that?
I don't know. Prank them. I can turn them into frog.
Could you really?
I
No,
can.
wait, you shouldn't do that. That would. Ew.
Imagine Marcus as a frog. How energetic that frog would be.
I bet he could jump really, really high.
Do you think he would do push-ups as a frog?
Oh, now I kind of
What
really
about a
want
giraffe?
Could you really turn them into a giraffe?
I've seen a giraffe before.
Wait a second. If you could kind of turn people into animals or whatnot, do you think you might, if you can't already, maybe make me kind of,
Well, and she kind of looks down at herself and then looks at him.
either yourself bigger or myself smaller? I wonder what it'd be like to fly around.
What do you mean? Like, I can't really enlarge you or make you smaller, but I can turn you into a rat or a. What's
Ah.
bigger?
Phooey. So just
Giraffe?
animals?
Only animals, yes.
Because I was just kind of thinking it'd be kind of cool if we could kind of, see the world from one another's eyes. Just like you getting to see what the world is like with being bigger, and me getting to see what the world is like being smaller and fly.
Turn you into a fly.
Well, that's not the same. I mean, kind of like you.
Like, lightly picks up one of his tiny feet.
Like having, like, looking typical, like, humanoid and stuff, but you still got little ways of flying.
Yeah, I can't really do that.
Darn. Can't do that yet. You're super smart and super strong. I'm sure at some point you can do it.
Maybe. I mean, sometimes turning people into animals doesn't really work. It's. I'm still getting used to it.
And I guess another thing I kind of want to ask, how are you doing? I mean, this is our first time out from, well, the village, so.
It's nice seeing different things, people, places.
Yeah, you're liking it?
That's kind of what I wanted to see when I came to this realm plane.
That kind of makes her expression falter a bit.
Did you feel kind of obligated to stay around me?
Oh no. I think I was really happy. I'm still really happy when we were spending time together, but I think I probably would have convinced you to leave eventually.
Nods her head a bit at that.
Yeah, it's nice not having to do that store stuff anymore.
Yeah. But, yeah, I definitely would have convinced you to leave eventually. That place was not fun.
Yeah.
Kind of looks at her palm. Even though there's no physical scars left on her body thanks to him, she still kind of remembers where stuff was inflicted and kind of just stares at it for a moment, opening and closing her hand before looking back at him.
Well, even if it wasn't because you convinced me to leave, just being able to leave is nice.
Yeah.
Have I ever... Well, can't think if I... Have I ever thanked you for all that? I mean, I thought it was sort of obvious, I guess, that I was very grateful for everything that you've done, but have I ever actually just thanked you?
I think so.
Taps your chin thoughtfully at that.
Well, just in case. Thank you for everything, really. I don't know if... Well... it's kind of hard to think how all that would have been if you hadn't been there.
It's okay. Thank you too.
Tilts her head a bit at that.
For what?
Just taking care of me.
I guess that leads one last question. When you are healthy and able to move around again, how come you stayed?
I enjoyed your company. didn't really want to leave.
She grins at that.
Even
Grins
though
back.
even if at the start you always called me all sorts of names.
Yeah, well, we've moved past that.
I mean, the candy thing kind of stuck.
Yeah, the candy thing stuck.
Okay. Well,
And she'll lightly put him back up on her shoulder, picking up her pencil again.
who knows? Maybe in the next town or city we'll come across a place where we can get tiny little pencils and paper and you can join me.
Maybe.
I mean, think about it. You might be able to spook one of the others by writing, "I'm watching you," and then placing it on their pillow or something.
Ooh, that would be very really good.
Right?
With a bright grin on her face, she'll return to writing.
Okay. And with that, the night passes into the morning. So you'll set up and get ready to leave again. Journey along the road.
What's his face is still here?
He is indeed.
Does Red just murder him? Is like Red just okay? Now I have you by yourself.
Shh.
Einar, did you have anything that you wish to talk about with him?
Yes.
Okay.
As they're kind of setting up for going on the road, Einar's gonna walk over to Regis. I was thinking after yesterday's event, if we're to hold true to what we said to those individuals and Bianca, I was thinking we might need a place to stay or kind of set up shop, so to speak, in a more permanent sense. Do you know of any ruins of castles that we could perhaps clear of any beasties or whomever, whatever may be there to claim, preferably in neutral territories or maybe closer to the ore body side of things?
Of course, there's plenty of places like that. It really depends where you're looking for in terms of location and what type of climate or perhaps place you're looking for. But there's a variety of different ruins and castles. Perhaps I'll give you a list of what might interest you. And
Thought near a lake and a mountain.
near a lake and then a mountain, yes, those are quite possible things that you can find. Perhaps if you wanted to find one near a swamp or near a volcano or near the beach, that could do too.
I don't know about a swamp or a volcano, but lakeside is good. I guess a beach isn't bad, but here, I bought a map. Perhaps you could mark a couple of places on here and kind of tell me what you know about them.
Alright. Well. And he will point out a few places, and I will have to do that after. But
Later date.
a later date, as he just kind of gives you a few options and places and where you might want to set up. And something that I guess you all can probably discuss where you might want to set up.
I think this is good. We should be able to figure out a place to set up
Alright,
in one of these locations.
wonderful. Anything else?
By the way, how far are we from Jester's Landing at this point? We've been traveling for a few days.
You guys are about halfway there,
Halfway.
but that is gonna be sped up.
He's gonna look over to Marcus for a moment. You know, Marcus.
Yeah, I know.
I'm thinking perhaps it was a good thing we went along the road after all instead of our original idea of off-roading.
Yeah, because of them folks we just helped.
Well, among other things.
Yeah, I was
Met a
thinking,
new friend who is very knowledgeable about the world. That's definitely valuable in its own right.
that's true.
Getting those people on a more honest path. Yeah.
I think we've done a lot of good on the road so far. And we even helped our, looking around, our other friend with his problem.
Ah, yes. That problem.
Rhea chimes in. No problem.
Yeah, no
Ah.
problem. Yeah, I think we're doing good. I mean, I think we're making the world a better place as we move forward.
Indeed. Indeed. This is gonna be very weird, but Einar's going to insight Rhea when Marcus says that.
Wait. What?
He's trying to gauge if she reacted to Marcus wanting to make a better place everywhere they leave. If that's something she even cares about, or if it really garnered any attention.
Go for a roll insight.
I mean,
The
I know
cursed
what it is
roll of
without
the
no
night.
insight, but
Cursed roll of the night. Oh, guys. Middling.
atrocious. But
I'm not even going to roll deception. I'm just gonna tell you. She clearly has a, I don't know why you want to make the world a better place look on your face, but you do you. I'm gonna do me kind of look.
you make it better, I'll burn it down when you're done.
Yeah.
Einar kind of grins at Rhea. We'll work on that.
She raises an eyebrow at you for saying that, and then
I have faith in everyone here.
Well, I mean, the fates did bring us together, and I like to think that there was a reason for that.
I wouldn't call a demigod bringing us together fate, but sure.
Guys, Regis doesn't know any of that. Actually, nor does Bianca or William.
Oh yeah, I forgot that he was here.
Don't be so casual.
It just
Don't
said
worry,
fate.
ignore me. I forgot he was here.
Marcus was speaking code. Marcus said fate, bring us together. You can't really argue any of that shit.
Me forgetting that this entire conversation started with not just us three there, so ignore what I said.
Yeah. But I mean,
Yes, fate whisked us away from the many corners of the world. And we found one another.
exactly.
A little too romantic when you put it that way.
I don't know about that. I think it's got a nice ring to it.
Well, it was certainly something I never foresaw.
He keeps rolling so low on his inside.
Are you worried about?
I want to roll inside just to see what happens.
Watch me. Nope. Inside is cursed right now.
I sucked all the luck from it.
No, man, because I had a 22 immediately after. You're nat 20, and then the 17, and after that it has been. God, could you imagine going into the fight with these rolls?
Yeah, right?
You would have been
I blame Storm. It was all of the nat 20s last night.
Yeah, I stole them all last night.
But yeah, I'm thinking. No worries. It's just well, in any case, we keep moving forward and keep making things better and keep doing our darndest to improve our lives and the lives of better around us. And who knows? Maybe one day we'll kind of turns that. Maybe we can undo some of the wrongs done in the past.
Yes, I agree.
If that
Gods
helps you
know there are
sleep better
plenty of
tonight.
them. What's that, Rhea?
If that helps you sleep better tonight.
Well,
Well, I
actually,
have
I
to-
find a warm glass of milk does wonders for that.
Oh, Lord. Regis, what do you plan to do once you get to Justice Landing?
Well, plan to visit one of perhaps all three Bards colleges there for a period of time. And, probably make my way around, perhaps take teleporter to a different city. Make my way gathering more stories.
Einar claps both his hands. Does the exact same thing Candy did, the cupcake question. You're good with people, yes? Drumming
I-
up excitement?
Indeed.
What if he kind of walks over and puts his arm around Regis' shoulder for a moment, holds his hand out to the sky? Imagine you telling the fine people of Jester's Landing about this great smithing contest, yes?
I'm sure I'm not sure if you know about Jester's Landing, but if you tell them that there's going to be a contest, I'm sure they'll be all over it.
I
don't-
don't doubt that, but you're a man of... You're a wordsmith,
Indeed.
and I'm a metalsmith. I'm not very good with words. I mean, I'm okay. I don't like to toot my own horn, but unless it's about smithing. Either way, sorry, I'm rambling. If you work your wordsmith magic on the people, it might bring a bigger crowd. Yes?
Indeed. Aren't any of your companions wordsmiths?
Well, it's not that they're bad with words, I just don't know if they would be interested. Well, he kind of looks at Damien a moment. He, for sure, would definitely try to sabotage it. It's just his style. He likes to play pranks. I wouldn't be surprised if he threw a snake at me one day.
Right.
Candy's gonna make eye contact with Syl at that as just a future plan.
He gives you a knowing nod.
I just
A
like to imagine
sly
Marcus is just kind of like eye waggling at wordsmiths and helping you gather a crowd, right? He's like,
He looks over at Marcus. Marcus, you're pretty good with words too, I suppose. Well, you're very loud and boisterous. I just learned that about you. I guess I did know you were loud, but I didn't know you got that loud.
well, when I get excited.
Actually, he kind of takes his hand off of Regis and walks over to Marcus and does the same thing. Every good contest needs what's called a skald or a hype man. I think that's your job.
I think I can fill that role quite nicely for you.
Excellent. To tell you, this will be the greatest Forged in Fire championship. Disregard the fact that it's only the second.
Interesting. We'll see how it goes, and perhaps there'll be more to come. Spread across the land, and
Either way, you'll be there, and it will be a story for you to tell across your travels. Perhaps if you meet another traveling band of people, you could tell them. Who knows, maybe they have a buff skeleton with them. Weird things like that.
Perhaps they do. That wouldn't be any But yeah, I've seen stranger things.
Honestly, I think once you've met Oyster Ball Man, nothing will surprise you anymore.
You keep talking about this oyster ball, man, and then
It was an eye-opening experience.
oh. Very well. Well, do you have anything else?
No, I think my autism is done for now.
Okay. So, I guess to speed things along, since there's still plenty of days travel, the next few days go on roughly without any issue.
The next few days go on. We'll die. Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it.
While the next few days do go on, Einar would ask Ray a few times, not to get to a point of annoyance or anything, but just to kind of teach him just some magic necessities, shit like that. If she's willing.
I was sitting here nodding, and then I just remembered that, like, yeah.
Can't see you.
Yeah.
He gonna learn that magic.
Okay. So, as you make your way, the next 5 days of travel, you deal with minor inconveniences, a wolf attack at some point. You've met a few travelers along the road. Nothing too interesting. Nothing really comes up. You've made your way past a river. A few, actually. One with a broken bridge that you'd had to eventually get past. Before we die. Eventually, you start to near what appears to be the city of Jester's Landing. And if the sound doesn't hit you first, the fireworks do. As you can see them just kind of every so often, you just kind of hear them go off in the distance. Just you can kind of see some sort of firework going off in the sky just above the city. It's kind of arrived during night. You see that there are a lot of colors. There's a lot of bright lights just illuminating the city. Approaching just from the northern road, making your way as you see the city of Jester's Landing. Festivities just even outside the northern gate. You can see that there's just various colors strewn about. There's a lot of colored banners and people cheering and a whole bound of merriment. There's a lot of different people of all kinds here, celebrating the current month of Sixth War. You see kind of children in bucket helmets and play swords kind of fighting each other, people kind of wrestling. Seems like a competition of battles currently going on.
Einar will instinctively raise his shield at the first firework that cracks.
Yeah, I guess you were. A lot of you would have probably not seen fireworks.
What in the hell is this city under attack?
Woo! Wait! The fireworks!
There's so many lights.
I guess this is your first time seeing this sort of thing, isn't it, Candy?
Is the sky exploding?
No. They got these little tubes of, like, well, I suppose is it just black powder in this world, or is it gunpowder? I don't know how they refer to it in yours.
Either or. Black
They
powder for people who are not really familiar.
No, black powder.
Gunpowder.
Black powder. They stub in these tubes, and when they fire them up, they create like explosions of lights and color. If you do it just right, you can make pictures with them and everything. It's amazing. I've seen it a couple of times in some of the larger cities when I was with my master.
Wow.
She's just staring wide-eyed, mesmerized at the sky right now.
When Einar was freaking out because of the fireworks, Ria would like lean in and like hold her hand out and cause like a small kind of shower of sparks to appear, kind of imitating fireworks from Presty.
Oh, that's fucked. He reflexively draws his sword this time, not his warhammer. I swears, this place is under attack.
No, Arnar, this is just celebration fireworks. Think of it like, it's like music for your eyes in the sky. Right? Like, you know how you can have, like, war drums for war, but then you also have, like, pops for, like, dancing? This is like explosions for dancing.
Slowly puts his sword away. Kind of eyes Rhea. Please do be careful next time. I don't want to accidentally chop a finger off. I feel really bad.
She does it again.
Seeing it's coming this time, he just kind of rolls his eyes.
So we found our Everin for this group right now.
I would try to keep that in mind. I have never seen the sky explode like this except for once, and it was not a joyous occasion. That I promise you.
Well, in this case, it's a joyous thing. Like I said, war drums, dancing flute. This is dancing flutes.
Fucking Einar right now.
Candy is just open-mouthed gaping right now.
Heck, Candy, I bet you they got some delicacies here you never tried. You want to go see if we can find some?
I mean, there's a lot of things I haven't tried, so yeah.
Syl just kind of like clutches at like, just at your clothing, and he's just like, I don't know if I hate or I love this place.
Oh, are the loud noises scaring you?
Yeah, but it's also really cool.
Right? I mean, really startling, but they're cool.
So as Marcus though kind of looks for food, also he kind of wants to keep an eye opening for like the combat pits too. He's got a bit of an interest in peek there.
Okay.
Any kind of fist fight pits that might be around for future referencing.
Indeed. As you kind of make your way into the city and just looking for food, just immediately at the front of the north gate, you kind of see stands of just people kind of offering food, some corn on the cob, meat sticks, a variety of different assortments of food, and they're all just kind of like, hey there, bud! Hey, you there! You there, you look like you're looking for some food!
He's a mind reader.
He is an observant fellow, that is for sure. Sir, you must be a mind reader. That is exactly what we are looking for.
Well, I don't think I'm a mind reader, sir. I just think that when you're rolling up to a city, you're looking for some food after some travel.
Hey, we have a way to test that. Here.
Candy will like press both hands against her temple, squinting at him, and like as she rubs her temple.
What number am I thinking of?
3.
He is a mind reader.
I got it! Maybe I am! Yeah, and you know what I'm mind reading here today? That you're gonna get some bacon sticks and you're gonna love them!
He's so right.
Oh my god.
This is the new Oyster Bowl, man.
Alright! Listen here, I've got some bacon sticks, and if you can purchase a variety of different flavors. We've got smoked, we've got charred, we've got paprika.
Everything.
And you see another guy kind of walk up. Hey! Guys, no, you don't want this guy's stuff. You want my corn cobs. My corn cobs are real tasty. We got salted, we got buttered, we got caramel. You want some corn cobs? We got some corn cobs here.
I want all of them.
Marcus will look around as well, and there's one thing he's going to particularly look for. This being a carnival city, he must see if there are candied apples.
Roll me a perception check.
Is the curse
Also,
broken?
Candy's gonna buy all the bacon and all the corn.
All of them?
Yes.
There might be a lot of money. Probably not that much actually. It's about 10 gold.
Got it. 10 gold checked off.
Jesus.
You've got just like pounds upon pounds of bacon sticks and
Okay,
corn
Marcus-
cobs of varieties of different flavors.
Do we have a
Marcus
bag of
Candy.
holding,
Yeah, I was
like-
about to say Candy with her arms full of food. Candy, would you like to put some of that in the bag of holding for later?
Einar
Yes,
pinches the bridge of
please.
his nose.
Marcus opens it up as we just start shoveling it in.
Though before it's like dropped in, she's gonna take out a piece of bacon, piece of the corn for herself, and then also like a tiny little kernel and a piece of bacon as well for Syl.
You don't see any candied apple cells here, but you do see some. As you're kind of looking around, you see another woman walk up to you. Hey, are you looking for cotton candy? I've got a lot of cotton candy here. We've got a variety of different flavors: apple, pear.
Candy,
Who
you
eats
ever had
candied cotton? What is candied cotton?
Candied cotton. It's like clouds that you can eat with variety of different flavors.
You never seen cotton candy? It's made from candied sheep.
I've
what?
never heard of such a thing.
Oh, these things are amazing. Come on, you guys got to try it. Please give me one of each, ma'am.
Rhea, have you heard of these candied sheep?
Rhea just like looks at like freaking just everyone being like, what are these new things? And is just here like, how have people never seen this stuff before?
Marcus has seen this shit before. He's just having fun with them at this point.
I know.
Wait. Hey, you see another little woman kind of. Hey, do you want some rock candy? We've got a variety of different rock candies here.
Rocks!
Rock can be made into candy?
Rocks can be. It's like hard candy. Come try some.
I know who would know about this. Evelyn looks over. Oh, she's asleep.
Huh?
How is she sleeping through all this? That's impressive.
And we're gonna go ahead and end that there, as you guys are bombarded by just people. You've not even made it into the front gate yet, and already there's stalls and people just trying to sell
Candy,
you things.
this is why you do not buy entire stalls worth of food. They're all gonna come.
She's literally
Yeah, they're
that
all
tourist-
gathering. They're all
She's-
basically
she's
like.
literally that tourist in the bazaar that spent like $5 and now is surrounded by urchin children trying to sell them junk.
Basically.
Also, for the bag of holding lists, how much exactly for bacon and corn is put in?
I'm gonna say you guys bought. You've bought about 5 pounds of bacon sticks, which is a lot of bacon sticks,
God.
and
That's a
about
lot
10 pounds of corn and cob.
We're gonna be living off rations of cupcakes, corn cobs, and bacon.
Cake. Hey man, wait till the cotton candy and rock candy gets bought next week, cause you know
Yep.
This party's gonna get fat.
you know what, Nikki, I just got to point out. I take it we're dead, by the way, Storm.
Yeah.
Hail Leprechaun.